And I just want to touch base with a story we talked base with about Sanchez, Obdulia Sanchez. If you don't remember this story, we did a few weeks ago about a 19-year-old Obdulia Sanchez who rolled her car and killed her 14-year-old sister. We got a lot of feedback from a lot of listeners, man. And I tell you, I appreciate it too. Some said we were horrible, not us, but some said that she was horrible and that she was a bad person. Some said it was just unfortunate. She was just a 19-year-old. Yeah. Others said she was a real piece of garbage. But like all these stories, you often don't get that to that person. You know, you really don't know what or she is or who she is about or what she is about. And if they are a nice person or not, or if they're just a horrible human being. We don't never know that. And more or not, there is that side story or the background story that we never really get to hear or never get shared with us. Mainstream news, radio normally just passes on this information and they don't want to share it. Yep. I don't know why that is, but they just don't feel like it's important. So when you receive a call from a young woman who knew a little bit about Mrs. Sanchez, we certainly were glad to give her a chance and to voice her opinion and share some of her so-called facts that she claims that she knew Mrs. Sanchez and her family and friends and cohorts. You know, we had that lady on the phone who says she does know her, and she says she knows that dirty little past from Obdulia Sanchez and where she came from and what's going on here. For radio purposes, I'm going to call her Pamela for our story, and we will also refer to her sister, who's not going to be on the phone with her named Madeline. Let me welcome to the radio show Pamela with the Fixed Radio Show. Pamela, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Pamela. I want to thank you for coming on board, and hopefully we can help you shine some light on this story because what you told me was pretty crazy. But before I get started, Pam, I want to go over some of the parts of the story and set this up for you. So I wanted to get your take on it and see if we got some of this correct. I wanted to get our research department, Mary Frances, to do a quick rundown. But I'm all I know is that this girl Sanchez knew. Well, I'll let Mary Frances do because Mary Frances is good at this. She's got all that good stuff there.
Sure. From my understanding and just the brief conversation that we've had with Pamela, Mrs. Sanchez actually was a friend of her nephew, Pamela's nephew.
Right.
And Pamela and her sister have had the unfortunate pleasure of having to deal with the outcome of Miss Sanchez being a personal friend of her nephew's. From the story that I was told, there was a bit of information that was given to the nephew that Miss Sanchez was much older than what she actually was at the time that they were friends.
Actually, Miss Sanchez defied her age. Mm-hmm. She, from what I was told, she claimed she was 28 instead of 16, being her original age, which she was 16.
Right.
And
which is very unfortunate because at the time your nephew was 30.
Let's just use his first name. I don't want to use his last name. Let's just use his first name. Is that okay?
My nephew's a very mature boy. Mm-hmm. A man. And I know my nephew. I grew up with my nephew.
And can you use his first name, not his last name, just his first name?
For private reasons,
we'll just call him Jay.
I'm not going to say my nephew's name, because he's incarcerated.
We'll just call him Jay for now.
And she lied and said he kidnapped her, raped her, and used her for prostitution.
And they were friends, but they were part of the neighborhood gang? Is that how that was?
No. They were just friends. And she wanted more than just being friends.
Oh, she wanted a little hanky-panky.
And he he just wanted to be just friends. She wanted more out of that.
Mm. Now, as far as you know, they didn't have any kind of sexual relationship.
No. My nephew was looking for a woman who was more stable.
Aren't we all?
Yes. And I know my nephew.
Sure.
And my nephew wanted a stable environment. He has a son. She took that away. She took that away by cutting his throat, stabbing him, and his physical being is now destroyed.
Now, where were they at when she allegedly attacked him? Where were they at when he got allegedly attacked by her? I mean, was he at his home?
In front of his house.
In front of his house. And
Yeah.
was there an argument that started this, or was it
She was acting normal. And what happened was, he said, you know what? When he found her ID, he said, "This is it. I don't want nothing more to do with you. This is it. We're done. We're as friends. We're done as friends." And
she just zapped
she
out.
was just laughing, acting like it was normal, everyday normal.
And she attacked him.
She attacked him.
And cut his throat.
And cut his throat, and my nephew's lucky he didn't die.
Now, did she get
he
charged?
Lost a lot of blood. He was crawling to the front door, and my sister went out, and
Her sister Maddie.
She's crazy. She's crazy from the way she looks. She looks like she's deranged.
You're talking about Sanchez.
Obdulia Sanchez, yes.
Now,
they call her Lulu for short.
Lulu for short. Now, had she had any other altercations with your brother before this, or your nephew?
My nephew?
Yeah.
No.
None. They were just friends. How long were they friends?
She claimed that she could fight the female boxer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to have a lot. If she
Rosa
goes to
Rossi or whatever.
Yeah. She's going to fight a lot if she gets to jail, so she'll have that opportunity. That's for sure.
She better go through the chain boxing.
Yeah, she better do that. So after he was stabbed, was she? Did they arrest her? Did he bring her? Did he make any charges against her at that point?
They arrested her for aggravated assault, and then she claimed that she did it out of self-insanity, and then I was busy. I live in Stockton, and this was about 2 years ago, and I was going to school at the time. I had no contact with my sister.
Right.
I moved out in 2010, and when this happened, my oldest sister, she notified, she let me know that my nephew got stabbed.
Right.
I asked her where he was at, and
so they dropped all charges.
I wanted to find out where he was at.
Right. So but when she did this, they didn't arrest her or anything. They just dropped all charges, and that was it.
Yeah, they dropped all charges. It was almost like she was, get out of jail free card.
Huh. And what I guess he didn't have to plead anything. He was just a victim here. He didn't have to say what he was doing.
He was a victim.
How long did he stay in the hospital?
About 2 weeks.
Okay.
Wow.
And then after that, did he still become friends, or were they just like, I hate you forever?
No. When I started talking to my sister,
Madeline,
I told her, I said, I was praying for your son to get well.
Right.
I said, that was my nephew. That's my nephew. And Obdulia destroyed my sister's family.
I gotcha. So after all this happened, they didn't see each other anymore after that.
No, my sister's angry. She's angry.
I'm talking about your nephew.
She's upset at the fact
I'm talking about your
that
nephew.
this 14-year-old girl died. She had her life taken away.
Yeah, we saw that. We showed the video on that, and it was pretty horrific. And you could see that the remorse on her was not evident. She was very, very, oh my gosh, I killed you, little baby. I'm sorry, and it was very, very bizarre.
Oh, come on, please. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. Come on.
You don't think she was that sorry, huh?
I don't think she's sorry. Come on.
Okay.
That's just a game.
Right.
That's a game.
Now, is she after this stabbing happened? How long ago did this happen? Where the accident that happened recently? How long ago was the time frame from the time she stabbed your nephew to the time that she had her car wreck?
That's not our car.
Oh.
My sister can even tell you that. That's not our car.
What car?
She got that from another guy.
Okay. Well, how long ago was it? About 2 years between the two incidences?
Yeah.
About 2 years. Now, did she keep in contact with you or your sister after
No.
any of that?
No. Once the incident with my nephew, when she cut my nephew's throat because she went on a rampage.
Right.
She even said that she talked to my sister. She confided in my sister that her dad taught her how to prostitute.
Okay. So I assume they're all from Stockton.
Yeah, and it was because when she would go to my sister's house, and when they were watching boxing, she said that she could go in that fight and box Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Rhonda's a tough girl.
Pamela, what is it that happened to your nephew that got him arrested? What happened to your nephew that got him arrested? I'm a little bit confused by that. How he went from getting stabbed in the hospital to ending up in prison.
The cops went in there and arrested my nephew.
Under what charges?
And my sister told me what happened was she goes, my son hasn't had time to heal. They said, well, we're placing him under arrest for the kidnapping of Obdulia Sanchez and prostitution.
So they charged him with the counts that she accused him of, which was kidnapping and prostitution.
And rape.
And rape. Oh, and rape too.
Yes.
And then when they went to court,
wait a minute.
When they went to court,
I told my sister, I said, James is, my nephew isn't the type that would force somebody to do something. He would,
Right.
Right.
If he needed money, he would go out and work on his own.
Well, when they went to court, was she there at court against him, pleading against him? Was she a witness against him?
No. She got mad because she wanted more of a relationship, and she was younger, he was older, he was 30 years old. He was like about 14 years difference.
I gotcha. It's real good if you're a guy.
But his relationship with her was just a friendship relationship that just happened out of just coincidence that they met, and she lied about her age, and that's why he continued to hang out with her.
Yeah, he's seen her school ID, and he said, wait a minute, you're 16 years old. No, I can't have that.
I gotcha.
He said, you need to go home. I can't have that, And I can understand the position that it would put my nephew in. Mm-hmm. And she was like laughing and acting, everything's okay, everything's cool. But then he didn't see that she was going to knife him.
Right.
Didn't you tell us earlier that there were neighbors that actually
saw this,
were able to collaborate the argument or altercation that they were having?
No. It just happened so quick. My sister, when she heard scraping on the door and my nephew was covered in blood, that's about it.
Right.
Nobody was outside.
Okay.
Now she got away with all that, and she got to walk scot-free, I guess, at that point. I don't know if the state picked up. I don't know the case. I'm just hearing this for the first time.
Well, if you think about it, the police have proof on the Instagram and the Facebook and Twitter about her admitting killing her sister. And, she's heartless. She is really heartless. And she's all laughing and intoxicated. And she's got previous reckless driving. And, she's really narcissistic. She's not sorry.
Right.
Sounds like she's been in the system quite some time.
She almost took my nephew's life away.
Yeah.
She destroyed my sister's family.
Right.
My nephew's in prison because of her.
How long is he in prison for? Did you know?
He's falsely imprisoned. He's going to be getting out in the summer of 2018.
Okay.
He can't see his son. You can't take a little boy to prison.
Right. Okay. Well, that's
you can't take a 3-year-old to prison.
So
the only contact my nephew
you're talking about visitation
is
for
by
the
phone.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about visitation. So your sister Madeline, she's in the hospital today too. Is that correct? She's been affected.
Yeah,
she's been affected by this.
She's got heart problems. She's got a lot going on right now because of my son. I mean, because her son being incarcerated.
Right.
She's got a lot going on,
Sure,
and
it
kills me to see her doing, her. It kills me to see her go through this.
Sure. So
it really does. I love my sister a lot.
I'm sure you do. And I just gotta, it's hard for the, I'm just being devil's advocate here. It's hard for me to understand how somebody would just snap and stab somebody without some reason other than I just don't want to be your friend. I know that, look, I knew girls that were 16 to 17 when I was that age, and they were pretty wild. But this one here, the Sanchez girl is off the hook. If she's going to go around stabbing people and slitting their throats just because you don't want to be friends with them, that's tough.
Okay. I mean, a normal person. I mean, this is how it is. If you're not going to want to be a friend to a person, a normal person would walk away and say, "Okay, that's it."
Yep.
I'm not going to talk to them.
Right.
A normal person would do that.
Right.
My nephew is scarred for life. He's got a scar mark on his neck. He's got scars on his back. He's got,
Have you talked to anybody from the family other than her since this has happened, or no?
I've talked to my sister Debbie. I told my boyfriend about it. He's like, "Wow,
Right.
That's
Have you visited
nobody deserves that."
Have you visited your nephew in jail?
No, I want to go see him.
He'd probably like to see you too.
Right.
Because that's my sister's firstborn.
Right.
And I used to play with him, and whenever he had problems, he used to come to me. He used to go to his mom, and he used to come to me and talk to me. And he wanted to do so much with us. Like, when you're in jail, you can't do much.
No.
And now they're going to label him as a sex offender. He's not a sex offender.
And you also said, Pamela, that from this incident of her cutting his throat and stabbing him down inside of his throat, that it caused so much blood loss that he has some brain damage done to him. So he's
got permanent amnesia.
I get that when I drink at night.
He's going to be disabled for the rest of his life due to this attack from this girl. It's just very difficult
once
for
he gets
me
out,
to really see
they're going to put him down as a sex offender. You can't get a good job being that.
No, you can't.
It's very difficult, and hopefully somebody out there will hear your cries for help and seeing that justice has not been done to your nephew, and they will be able to step forward and
let's give him a fair shake. Give him a fair shake.
Give him another look at and see if we can't get some of those charges reversed. Because you're absolutely right.
So what's the message?
The ones that are the sex offenders are the ones that are rapists.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
The ones that go online and look at porn.
Yes.
And those
Well,
are the perverts.
Not
My nephew's
not everybody
not
that
a
goes
pervert.
on porn is a pervert. They just like porn. So
No, I mean child porn. Child porn.
Right.
Okay.
I
She's
mean,
giving.
my
I know what
nephew's
you're
not
saying.
a pervert.
Right. Right.
porn industries go away. We're all porn perverts. Come on.
Right. So we just want to make sure that we get your voice out there and that somebody
Absolutely.
can hear your cry for help.
And
for them.
lastly, what's the message you'd like to send to her before we cut you loose, Pam? What's the message you want to send to Obdulia Sanchez?
I want her family to know, you got a really messed up daughter. You really got a messed up daughter. The first sign of problems that you seen in your daughter, you needed to get her some help. And Obdulia, if you hear this, I'm talking straight to you, bitch, because you know what? You really fucked my nephew up.
Ooh, watch the
You messed up my family,
Watch the F
and
word.
I hope you go to prison for life. That bail was really good. They should have raised it to $2 million.
Right. Well, she's
You
facing.
fucked with my sister. You fucked with my family.
All right, watch the F bomb. We'll get flagged for that. We'll get flagged for that. You freaked with me. You freaked with me. That's what you meant to say.
That's
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm upset at the
spouting
I'm upset
out
at the
pure.
fact.
Yeah.
Huh?
She's upset. I understand.
No, I understand. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's listen. What I want to do is when your sister gets out, Madeline, and she gets out of the hospital and she's feeling better, I'd like to give her a call and maybe get her feel on this thing and see what she's thinking and where she goes next. And we'll certainly be kind of watching this scenario as it unfolds with this Obdulia Sanchez. And if something comes up or you hear something down the line, you got my name and number and my email. It's 239-791-7002 or fixradioshow@gmail.com. Shoot us an email, call me, and I'll call you back like I did you. I mean, you called the line, you called, say, hey, I got some information, and I called you right back. So
Yeah, she's a pretty messed up girl. She's a really messed up girl, and she needs to go to prison for life.
sounds like another Wernos from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, one life taken should be a life served.
I hear you.
That's
I
a
hear
good
you.
way to put it.
Well, I'm not going to keep you on the phone. I know it's a Sunday, and I appreciate you calling in. I definitely want to keep in touch with you and let you know that you're welcome to call or leave me a message anytime. I'll follow up with you, and we'll keep an eye on this as it progresses, and we'll see what happens with Sanchez. And if you have any other information you can share, or whether it's videos or pictures or anything like that, or anybody else, you know where to find me. I'll definitely be in touch with you. Okay?
Hopefully she doesn't drop the soap.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hopefully she won't.